15 Things You Can Do Today to Instantly Improve Your Life, a comprehensive guide with real-life examples. Introduction. Why Small Changes Matter. Life is a collection of moments, and how we spend those moments shapes who we become. Many people wait for the right moment to make changes. Leading a transformation requires grand gestures or life-altering events. The truth is far simpler. Small, intentional actions taken today can create a ripple effect that transforms your entire life. This guide is designed to give you 15 powerful, actionable steps you can take right now to start living a better, more fulfilling life. Each chapter is packed with real-life examples and practical advice to help you implement these changes immediately. The beauty of self-improvement is that it does not require you to overhaul your entire existence overnight. It simply asks you to be a little better today than you were yesterday. Over time, these small improvements compound into remarkable results. The key is consistency and willingness to start where you are. The 15 practices covered in this book span physical health, mental well-being, emotional resilience, social connection, and practical life skills. Whether you are looking to reduce stress, improve your relationships, advance your career, or simply feel happy day to day, you will find actionable strategies in these pages. Each chapter includes real-life examples of people who have successfully implemented these changes. Their stories demonstrate that these practices work for people of all ages, backgrounds, and circumstances. You do not need special talent, expensive equipment, or a complete life overhaul. You just need the willingness to start. Let us begin this journey together and discover how 15 simple habits can change everything. Chapter 1. Wake up early and create a morning routine. The power of early rising. There is a reason why successful people around the world swear by waking up early. The morning hours are uniquely quiet, undisturbed by the demands of emails, notifications, and other people. When you wake up early, you claim the most valuable hours of the day for yourself. Research consistently shows that early risers tend to be more proactive, more productive, and report higher levels of life satisfaction. The concept of waking up early is not about depriving yourself of sleep. It is about restructuring your day so that you start with intention rather than reaction. Instead of jolting awake to an alarm, rushing through your morning, and arriving at work already stressed, you can create a buffer zone of calm that sets the tone for the entire day. How early rising changed one person's life. Consider the story of Marcus, a 34-year-old software engineer from Chicago. For years, Marcus woke up at 7:30 a.m., barely had time to shower and eat, and arrived at work feeling rushed and overwhelmed. His evenings were spent scrolling through social media until midnight, creating a cycle of exhaustion. When Marcus decided to wake up at 5:30 a.m., everything changed. He used the extra 2 hours to exercise, journal, and plan his day. Within 3 months, Marcus reported feeling more energetic at work. His relationships improved because he was less irritable, and he even picked up painting again, a hobby he had abandoned years ago. The key was not that Marcus magically became a morning person. He simply went to bed earlier, recognizing that the quality of his evening hours was poor anyway. By trading mindless screen time for restful sleep, he gained the most productive hours of his day. The science behind early rising. Scientific research supports the benefits of early rising. Our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates sleep-wake cycles, is naturally aligned with the sun. When we wake up with or shortly after sunrise, we are working with our biology rather than against it. Studies from the University of Toronto found that early risers report higher levels of happiness and health compared to night owls. This is partly because early risers tend to exercise more, eat healthier meals, and have better sleep quality overall. Additionally, cortisol levels, a hormone associated with alertness and stress, peak naturally in the early morning. By waking up during this peak, you harness your body's natural energy boost, making it easier to tackle challenging tasks. Practical steps to start waking up early. Here is how you can start waking up early. Today's step 1. Set a realistic wake-up time. If you currently wake up at 8 a.m., do not set your alarm for 5 a.m. Start by waking up 15 minutes earlier and gradually move the time earlier over several weeks. Step 2. Create a compelling reason to wake up. The alarm alone will not be enough. Have something you look forward to, whether it is a favorite breakfast, a walk, reading, or a creative project. Step 3. Establish a bedtime routine. To wake up early, you need to go to bed early. Start winding down at least 1 hour before your target bedtime. Dim the lights, put away screens, and engage in calming activities. Step 4. Prepare the night before. Lay out your clothes, prepare your breakfast, and set up your morning space. Reducing decision-making in the morning makes it easier to get out of bed. Step 5. Be consistent, even on weekends. Your body clock thrives on consistency. If you sleep in on weekends, you're essentially giving yourself jet-lagged every Monday. Common obstacles and how to overcome them. The biggest obstacle to early rising is the snooze button. When your alarm goes off, your brain will try to negotiate. It will remind you that you are tired, that 5 more minutes will not hurt, that you can start tomorrow. Recognize this negotiation for what it is: resistance to change. One effective strategy is the 5-second rule created by Mel Robbins. When your alarm goes off, count down from 5 and physically get out of bed before your brain can talk you out of it. It sounds simple, but the physical act of standing up breaks the cycle of rumination. Another obstacle is going to bed too late. If you want to wake up at 6 a.m. and get 8 hours of sleep, you need to be asleep by 10 p.m. This means your bedtime routine should start around 9 p.m. It requires discipline, but the rewards are worth it. Real-life success stories. Sarah, a 28-year-old teacher from Denver, was skeptical about early rising. She considered herself a night person and could not imagine functioning without her late-night Netflix habit. On a whim, she tried waking up at 6 a.m. for a week. By day 3, she noticed she had time to eat a real breakfast, review her lesson plans without rushing, and even meditate for 10 minutes. After a month, Sarah was a convert. She now wakes up at 5:45 a.m. every day and says it is the single best change she has ever made. James, a 45-year-old business owner, used early mornings to work on his side business. Between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., before his family woke up and the demands of his business took over, he had uninterrupted time to write his book and develop his online course. Within a year, his side business generated enough income to hire an additional employee, reducing his daily workload. These stories illustrate a fundamental truth: the quality of your day is largely determined by how you start it. When you invest in your morning, you invest in yourself. The 15 minutes you gain by waking up early may seem insignificant, but compounded over weeks, months, and years, they represent an enormous amount of time you can redirect toward the things that matter most to you. Chapter 2. Practice gratitude daily. Understanding gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a mindset, a way of viewing the world that focuses on what you have rather than what you lack. In a culture that constantly pushes us to want more, do more, and be more, gratitude offers a radical alternative to contentment in the present moment. The practice of gratitude has been studied extensively by positive psychology researchers. Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading gratitude researcher at the University of California, found that people who regularly practice gratitude experience stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, more positive emotions, greater resilience, and deeper relationships. Gratitude does not mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to acknowledge the good in your life alongside the challenges. It is a deliberate act of shifting your attention toward what is working, what is beautiful, and what is abundant in your existence. The science of gratitude, neuroscience, has revealed that gratitude literally rewires the brain. When you practice gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters responsible for feelings of happiness and well-being. Over time, regular gratitude practice strengthens neural pathways associated with positive thinking, making it easier and more natural to notice the good in your life. A landmark study by researchers at Indiana University asked participants to write gratitude letters once a week for 3 weeks. 3 months later, those participants still showed higher levels of gratitude and happiness than a control group. The effects of gratitude are not temporary. They create lasting changes in brain structure and function. Furthermore, gratitude has been shown to improve sleep quality. A study published in the journal Applied Psychology, Health, and Wellbeing found that participants who wrote about things they were grateful for before bed fell asleep faster and slept longer than those who wrote about daily irritations. Real-life examples of gratitude in action. Maria, a single mother of 2 from Miami, was struggling with the pressures of work, parenting, and financial stress. She felt overwhelmed and did not remember the last time she felt truly happy. A friend suggested she try a gratitude journal. Skeptically, Maria began writing 3 things she was grateful for each night before bed. The first week was difficult. She struggled to find things to write about. But by the second week, she started noticing gratitude moments throughout her day. Her daughter, Laughter, a kind word from a coworker, a beautiful sunset on her drive home. Within a month, Maria reported feeling significantly happier and less stressed. She said, "It is not that my problems disappeared. I just stopped letting them define my entire experience." David, a 52-year-old executive, was experiencing burnout. Despite his professional success, he felt empty and disconnected. His therapist recommended a gratitude practice along with other changes. David began sending one text message each morning to someone in his life, thanking them for something specific. The responses he received were overwhelming. Old friends reconnected, his relationships deepened, and he discovered that expressing gratitude not only improved his own mood, but also brightened the days of others. How to practice gratitude today. Here are several ways to incorporate gratitude into your daily life. Gratitude journaling each evening. Write down 3 to 5 things you are grateful for. Be specific. A. Instead of writing, "I'm grateful for my family," write, "I'm grateful that my son hugged me when I came home today and told me about his day." Gratitude letters. Write a heartfelt letter to someone who has made a difference in your life. You do not even have to send it, though doing so can create a beautiful moment for both of you. Mental gratitude at various points during the day. Pause and mentally list 3 things you're currently grateful for. This can be done in line at the grocery store, during your commute, or while waiting for a meeting to start. Gratitude walks. Take a walk with the sole purpose of noticing things you appreciate. The architecture of buildings, the sound of birds, the feeling of sunshine on your skin, the smell of fresh coffee from a nearby cafe. Thank you notes. Make it a habit to write thank you notes, both personal and professional. In a digital age, a handwritten note stands out and creates meaningful connection. Overcoming gratitude challenges. Some people resist gratitude because they feel it minimizes their problems. This is a misunderstanding. Gratitude does not deny suffering, it coexists with it. You can be grateful for your health while acknowledging that you are stressed about work. You can appreciate your partner while recognizing that your relationship needs attention. Others struggle with gratitude because they genuinely feel they have nothing to be grateful for. In these cases, starting small helps. Being grateful for running water, a warm bed, or the ability to breathe is a beginning. Gratitude is a muscle, and like any muscle, it strengthens with use. If you find journaling tedious, try alternative formats. Take photos of things you are grateful for, create a gratitude jar where you add notes throughout the week, or simply practice mental gratitude during routine activities. The ripple effect of gratitude. When you practice gratitude consistently, it affects not just you, but everyone around you. Your positive energy is contagious. Your children learn to appreciate what they have. Your partner feels more valued. Your coworkers feel more respected. Your community benefits from your generous spirit. Gratitude also changes how you respond to challenges. When you're anchored in appreciation, setbacks feel less devastating. You are better able to maintain perspective, knowing that even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for. This resilience is one of the most valuable gifts gratitude offers. Chapter 3. Move your body and exercise. Why movement is essential. The human body was designed for movement. For thousands of years, our ancestors spent their days walking, running, climbing, and lifting. Modern life has dramatically reduced the amount of physical activity most people get, and the consequences are severe. Obesity, heart disease, diabetes, depression, and anxiety have all reached epidemic levels, and sedentary lifestyles are a major contributing factor. Exercise is not about achieving a particular body type or running marathons. It is about giving your body what it needs to function optimally. Even modest amounts of physical activity can produce profound improvements in physical health, mental clarity, emotional stability, and overall quality of life. The World Health Organization recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic activity per week, which breaks down to about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. This is not an extreme amount. It is the equivalent of a brisk walk, a bike ride, or a swim. The mental health benefits of exercise. Perhaps the most compelling reason to exercise is its impact on mental health. Exercise is one of the most powerful natural antidepressants available. It triggers the release of endorphins, serotonin, and norepinephrine, chemicals that elevate mood and reduce feelings of anxiety and depression. A study published in the Lancet Psychiatry Journal, analyzing data from over 1.2 million Americans, found that people who exercised regularly experienced 43% fewer days of poor mental health compared to those who did not exercise. Exercise was even more effective than medication for mild to moderate depression in some studies. Exercise also improves cognitive function. It increases blood flow to the brain, promotes the growth of new brain cells, and enhances memory and concentration. People who exercise regularly report better focus at work, improved problem-solving abilities, and greater creativity. Real-life transformations through exercise. Think about Jennifer, a 40-year-old accountant from Seattle who had been sedentary for most of her adult life. She worked long hours at a desk, rarely exercised, and dealt with chronic back pain, weight gain, and poor sleep. Her doctor warned her about her blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Jen started small. She began walking for 20 minutes during her lunch break. Within 2 weeks, she noticed she felt less sluggish in the afternoon. Encouraged, she added a 15-minute yoga session each morning. After 3 months, Jen had lost 15 pounds. Her back pain had significantly improved as she was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. Her blood pressure returned to normal ranges. What made the difference was not the intensity of her workouts. It was the consistency. Jen chose activities she enjoyed and could sustain. She did not join a gym or hire a trainer. She simply moved her body in ways that felt good. Consider also the story of Robert, a 60-year-old retiree who felt lost after leaving his career. He had spent decades defined by his work, and without it, he struggled with depression and a sense of purposelessness. His daughter suggested they start hiking together on weekends. The hiking started slowly, with easy trails and short distances. But as Robert got stronger, the trails became more challenging and the distances longer. More importantly, the time spent in nature and with his daughter gave him something to look forward to. Within 6 months, Robert had lost weight, made new friends at a local hiking group, and found a renewed sense of purpose. How to start exercising today? The biggest barrier to exercise is not time or money. It is the belief that exercise must be intense, time-consuming, or uncomfortable to be worthwhile. This is simply not true. Here are practical ways to start moving today. Walk more. Park farther from the entrance at work. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk while talking on the phone. These small additions add up significantly over time. Set a time of every hour. Stand up and move for 5 minutes. Do stretching, walk around, or do a few body weight exercises. This breaks up prolonged sitting and boosts metabolism. Find activities you enjoy. If you hate running, do not run. Try dancing, swimming, cycling, hiking, martial arts, yoga, or any other activity that brings you joy. You are far more likely to stick with something you enjoy. Exercise with others. Join a class. Find a workout buddy or involve your family. Social accountability makes exercise more enjoyable and sustainable. Start where you are. If you have not exercised in years, a 10-minute walk is a perfect start. Do not compare yourself to others or try to do too much too soon. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Making exercise a habit. The key to long-term exercise success is making it a habit rather than a chore. Habit formation research suggests it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit, though this varies widely from person to person. Some strategies for making exercise a habit include anchor your exercise to an existing habit. For example, walk for 20 minutes right after your morning coffee, or do stretching exercises while watching your evening news. Track your progress. Use a simple calendar or app to mark each day you exercise. The visual chain of completed days becomes motivating over time. Reward yourself. After a week of consistent exercise, treat yourself to something enjoyable. The reward reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely to stick. Be flexible. If you cannot do your planned workout, do something smaller. A 10-minute walk is better than no exercise at all. Consistency matters more than intensity. Chapter 4. Drink more water and eat healthier. The connection between food and life quality. What you eat directly affects how you feel, think, and perform. Food is not just fuel. It is information that tells your cells how to function. The quality of the food you consume influences your energy levels, mood, cognitive function, sleep quality, and long-term health outcomes. The modern diet, characterized by processed foods, refined sugars, and artificial ingredients, is making people sick and tired. Rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and autoimmune conditions continue to climb. While genetics play a role, lifestyle factors, particularly diet, are the primary drivers of these conditions. Improving your diet does not require radical changes or expensive supplements. It requires a shift toward whole, minimally processed foods and a reduction in the things that harm your body. Real-life impact of better nutrition. Consider Anna, a 30-year-old marketing professional who lived on takeout, coffee, and energy drinks. She constantly complained of fatigue, brain fog, and digestive issues. Despite sleeping 8 hours a night, she woke up exhausted and relied on caffeine to function throughout the day. On a friend recommendation, Anna decided to try eating whole foods for 2 weeks. She replaced her morning energy drink with water and a piece of fruit. She started cooking simple meals at home using fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. She cut back on sugar and processed snacks. The results were remarkable. Within 3 days, Anna noticed she had more energy in the afternoon. By the end of the first week, her digestive issues had improved significantly. After 2 weeks, she reported feeling sharper mentally and more emotionally stable. She said, "I did not realize how much my diet was affecting my mood until I changed it." Tom, a 55-year-old construction worker, had been told by his doctor that he was pre-diabetic. His blood sugar levels were consistently elevated, and his weight was well above the recommended range for his height. Rather than immediately starting medication, his doctor recommended dietary changes as a first step. Tom began by reducing his sugar intake. He replaced his daily soda with water, stopped adding sugar to his coffee, and replaced candy bars with nuts and fruit. He also increased his vegetable intake and reduced his portions of processed meat. Over 6 months, Tom lost 30 pounds, and his blood sugar levels returned to normal. His doctor was so impressed that she used his case as an example for other patients. Simple nutrition improvements you can make today. Eating better does not require a complete diet overhaul. Start with these manageable changes. Drink more water. Dehydration causes fatigue, headaches, and poor concentration, and for at least 8 glasses a day. If you struggle to drink enough water, carry a reusable bottle and set reminders on your phone. Add 1 serving of vegetables to each meal. Vegetables are packed with vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. They fill you up without adding excess calories. Even adding a side salad to dinner or having vegetables with breakfast makes a difference. Replace processed snacks with whole foods instead of chips. Try nuts. Instead of candy, try fruit. Instead of cookies, try yogurt with berries. These swaps are easy and gradually reshape your taste preferences. Cook more meals at home. Restaurant meals and takeout tend to be higher in sodium, sugar, and unhealthy fats. Cooking at home gives you control over ingredients and portion sizes. You do not need to be a gourmet chef. Simple meals like grilled chicken with vegetables or pasta with olive oil and garlic are nutritious and satisfying. Reduce sugar intake. The average American consumes about 17 teaspoons of added sugar per day, or exceeding the recommended limit of 6 to 9 teaspoons. Start by identifying the biggest sources of sugar in your diet and finding healthy alternatives. The emotional connection to food is not just about nutrition. It is deeply connected to emotions, memories, and social bonds. This is why dietary change can be so challenging. When you eat for comfort, you're not just feeding your body, you're soothing your emotions. Understanding this connection is essential for sustainable change. Instead of simply removing unhealthy foods, focus on adding nutritious ones. Instead of labeling foods as good or bad, think about how foods make you feel. Choose foods that nourish your body and energize your life. Long-term benefits of better nutrition. The benefits of improved nutrition extend far beyond weight management. Better nutrition leads to improved immune function, reduced inflammation, better mental health, enhanced cognitive function, and lower risk of chronic diseases. It also improves sleep quality, increases energy levels, and promotes healthier aging. Investing in your nutrition is investing in your future self. The food choices you make today will determine how you feel, look, and function for years to come. Start small, be consistent, and watch as the quality of your life transforms. Chapter 5: Declutter your physical space. The weight of clutter. Clutter is more than just an eyesore. It is a psychological burden that affects your mood, productivity, and overall well-being. Research from UCLA found that people who describe their homes as cluttered or full of unfinished projects are more likely to be depressed and fatigued. Clutter bombards your mind with excessive stimuli, causing your senses to work overtime and your stress levels to rise. The physical space you inhabit reflects and influences your internal state. A chaotic environment promotes a chaotic mind. A clean, organized space promotes clarity, focus, and calm. Decluttering is not just about tidiness, it is about creating an environment that supports the life you want to live. Real-life decluttering success. Consider Rachel, a 38-year-old graphic designer who worked from home. Her home office had become a dumping ground for everything from mail to old project files to random purchases. She spent more time looking for things than working on them. Her productivity had plummeted, and she felt anxious every time she sat down at her desk. Rachel committed to spending 30 minutes each day decluttering one small area. She started with her desk drawers. She discarded expired items, filed important documents, and organized supplies into containers. The next day, she tackled her bookshelf, then her closet. After 2 weeks, Rachel had transformed her workspace, but the real transformation was internal. She reported feeling calmer, more focused, and more creative. She said, "I did not realize how much visual clutter was draining my energy until it was gone. Now I sit down at my desk and actually want to work." Mike, a 42-year-old father of 3, was overwhelmed by the amount of stuff his family had accumulated. Toys, clothes, kitchen gadgets, and holiday decorations filled every closet and corner. The kids' rooms were so full they could barely play in them. Mike and his wife made decluttering a family project. They set a rule for every new item that entered the house. One item had to leave. They donated bags of clothes, sold furniture they no longer used, and gave away toys the kids had outgrown. The process was emotional at times, but the result was a home that felt spacious, calm, and livable. The decluttering method here is a step-by-step approach to decluttering your space. Start small. Do not try to declutter your entire house in one weekend. Start with one drawer, one shelf, or one corner. Small wins build momentum and motivation. Use the 4-box method to get 4 boxes labeled keep, donate, trash, and relocate. Go through each item and place it in the appropriate box. Be honest with yourself about what you truly need and use. The 1-year rule: if you have not used an item in 1 year, you probably do not need it. Exceptions include seasonal items, sentimental objects, and emergency supplies. Create systems. Decluttering is not a one-time event. Create organizational systems that prevent clutter from accumulating again. Use containers, labels, and designated spots for everything. Practice the daily reset each evening. Spend 10 minutes returning items to their proper places. This simple habit prevents clutter from building up and makes your home easier to maintain. Digital decluttering. Physical clutter is not the only kind that affects your well-being. Digital clutter, including overflowing email inboxes, hundreds of unused apps, and thousands of photos on your phone, creates similar mental stress. Take time to organize your digital life. Unsubscribe from email lists you do not read. Delete apps you do not use. Organize your files into folders. Clean up your phone on screen. A tidy digital space promotes a tidy mind. The emotional aspect of letting go. Sometimes the hardest part of decluttering is not the physical work, but the emotional attachments. We hold onto items because they represent memories, relationships, or aspirations. An old sweater from a loved one, a textbook from college, a hobby supply from a project you never completed. Letting go of these items does not mean letting go of the memories or the person. It means honoring what the item represented while making space for what is next. If an item no longer serves you, releasing it is an act of self-care, not loss. Chapter 6. Practice mindfulness and meditation. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It is the opposite of living on autopilot, which is how most people spend their days. When you are mindful, you are fully engaged with whatever you are doing, thinking, or feeling. You notice the sensations in your body, the thoughts in your mind, and the environment around you. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind or achieving a state of perpetual calm. It is about becoming more aware of your thoughts and feelings so you can respond to them more skillfully rather than reacting impulsively. The practice has roots in Buddhist meditation, but has been widely adopted in secular contexts. Programs like mindfulness-based stress reduction, developed by Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn, have brought mindfulness into hospitals, schools, workplaces, and homes around the world. The science of mindfulness. Research on mindfulness has exploded in recent decades, revealing benefits across physical, mental, and emotional health. MRI studies show that regular mindfulness practice physically changes the brain, increasing gray matter density in areas associated with learning, memory, emotional regulation, and empathy. Mindfulness has been shown to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. It improves attention, concentration, and cognitive flexibility. It enhances immune function, lowers blood pressure, and reduces chronic pain. It even improves relationship satisfaction by increasing empathy and reducing reactivity. A study conducted at Harvard found that participants who completed an 8-week mindfulness program showed measurable changes in brain regions associated with memory, sense of self, empathy, and stress. These changes were still present 4 months after the program ended. Real-life applications of mindfulness. Sophie, a 26-year-old nurse working in a busy emergency department, was experiencing compassion fatigue and burnout. The constant exposure to trauma and suffering was taking a toll on her mental health. She felt detached from her patients and emotionally numb. A colleague suggested Sophie try a 5-minute mindfulness exercise before each shift. Sophie began sitting quietly for 5 minutes, focusing on her breath and setting an intention for the day. She also practiced brief mindfulness moments during her breaks, simply noticing her surroundings without judgment. After a month, Sophie noticed a significant shift. She felt more present with her patients, more compassionate in her interactions, and less affected by the traumatic events she witnessed. She said, "Mindfulness did not change my job. It changed how I experienced my job." Carlos, a 48-year-old real estate agent, struggled with anxiety about the future. His income was unpredictable, and he constantly worried about finances, clients, and competition. The anxiety kept him up at night and made it difficult to enjoy his life even when things were going well. Carlos started a daily mindfulness practice using a smartphone app. He meditated for 10 minutes each morning and practiced mindful breathing during stressful moments. Over time, he developed the ability to observe his anxious thoughts without becoming consumed by them. He learned to recognize worry as just a thought, not a reality. His sleep improved, his decision-making became clearer, and his relationships deepened. How to start a mindfulness practice today. Here are simple ways to begin practicing mindfulness right now. Breathing exercise. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. When your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Start with just 5 minutes. Mindful eating. Eat one meal today without distractions. No phone, no TV, no reading. Notice the colors, textures, and flavors of your food. Chew slowly and savor each bite. Pay attention to hunger and fullness cues. Body scan. Lie down and slowly scan your body from head to toe, noticing any sensations, tension, or discomfort. This practice increases body awareness and helps release physical stress. Mindful walking. Take a walk and pay full attention to the experience. Notice the feeling of your feet on the ground, the movement of your legs, the sounds around you, the temperature of the air. When your mind wanders, return to the physical sensations of walking. 3-minute pause 3 times a day. Stop what you're doing and take 3 minutes to check in with yourself. Notice your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations. This simple practice builds awareness and prevents you from running on autopilot. Common mindfulness misconceptions. Many people avoid mindfulness because they believe they cannot do it correctly. They think meditation means sitting still for hours, that they need to clear their mind completely, or that they are doing it wrong when thoughts arise. The truth is that mindfulness is simple, but not easy. Your mind will wander. That is not failure, it is the practice. Every time you notice your mind has wandered and bring it back, you're strengthening your mindfulness muscle. Even experienced meditators deal with wandering minds. Another misconception is that mindfulness requires a specific posture or setting. You can practice mindfulness anywhere, anytime. In the car, at your desk, waiting in line, or lying in bed. The best mindfulness practice is the one you actually do. Chapter 7. Read for at least 30 minutes. The value of reading. Reading is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth available to humankind. It exposes you to new ideas, perspectives, and ways of thinking. It expands your vocabulary, improves your communication skills, and enhances your critical thinking abilities. It reduces stress, improves memory, and even increases empathy by allowing you to experience life from other people's perspective. Despite these benefits, reading has declined significantly in recent decades. According to a Pew Research Center study, about 23% of American adults reported not reading any books in the past year. Screens, social media, and streaming services have largely replaced books as sources of entertainment and information. While there is nothing inherently wrong with these technologies, they rarely provide the depth of engagement and learning that reading does. A social media post or news article gives you a snippet of information. A book gives you a comprehensive understanding of a topic, a narrative, or an argument. Real-life benefits of regular reading. Emily, a 35-year-old marketing manager, was stuck in a career plateau. She felt she had learned everything she could from her immediate environment and mentors. She decided to start reading one book per month related to leadership and business strategy. The first book she read was on emotional intelligence in the workplace. It gave her a framework for understanding her own reactions and those of her team members. She immediately began applying the concepts, and within weeks, her interactions with colleagues improved. Her team became more cohesive, and her manager noticed the change. Over the following months, Emily read books on negotiation, creativity, and systems thinking. Each book gave her new tools and perspectives. She credited her reading habit as the catalyst for her promotion the following year. Frank, a 67-year-old retired teacher, was worried about cognitive decline. His mother had suffered from dementia, and he wanted to do everything possible to maintain his mental sharpness. His doctor recommended reading as one of several activities to keep his brain active. Frank committed to reading for at least 30 minutes every day. He read fiction, nonfiction, history, and science. After a year of consistent reading, Frank noticed improvements in his memory, vocabulary, and conversational ability. He also discovered a love for historical fiction that gave him a new perspective on the world. How to build a reading habit. The key to building a reading habit is making it enjoyable and convenient. Choose books that interest you. Do not force yourself to read books because you think you should. If you enjoy mysteries, read mysteries. If you prefer self-help, read self-help. The goal is to develop the habit, and enjoyment makes the habit sustainable. Set a timer instead of aiming for a certain number of pages. Set a timer for 20 to 30 minutes and read until it goes off. This removes the pressure of page counts and makes the task feel less daunting. Carry a book everywhere. You never know when you will have a few spare minutes, whether waiting for an appointment, during a lunch break, or before bed. Having a book with you turns wasted time into reading time. Replace screen time. Instead of scrolling through your phone before bed, read for 20 minutes. Instead of watching TV after dinner, read for half an hour. You do not need to add time to your day. You simply need to redirect existing time. Join a book club. Discussing books with others adds a social dimension to reading. It also holds you accountable and exposes you to books you might not have chosen on your own. What to read. There is no right or wrong answer to what you should read. The best book is the one you will actually read. That said, here are some categories worth exploring. Fiction builds empathy, creativity, and emotional intelligence. Literary fiction, in particular, has been shown in studies to improve theory of mind, the ability to understand other people's thoughts and feelings. Nonfiction expands your knowledge and provides practical skills. Look for well-researched books on topics that interest or benefit you. Biographies and memoirs offer insight into how other people have navigated life challenges and achieved success. They can provide inspiration and practical wisdom. Classics have endured for a reason. They offer timeless insights into the human condition and are often beautifully written. Self-help and personal development books provide frameworks and strategies for improving various aspects of your life. Choose books with evidence-based approaches rather than purely motivational content. Chapter 8. Set clear goals and write them down. The importance of goal setting. Goals give your life direction and purpose. Without them, you drift, reacting to circumstances rather than creating them. Goals transform vague aspirations like I want to be successful into concrete targets like I want to earn a promotion to senior manager within 18 months by completing 3 major projects and developing my leadership skills. Research from Dominican University found that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them than those who do not. The act of writing clarifies your thinking, makes your goals more real, and creates a sense of commitment. Goals also provide motivation and a framework for decision-making. When you know what you are working toward, it becomes easier to say no to distractions and yes to opportunities that align with your objectives. Real-life goal achievement. Kathy, a 29-year-old aspiring writer, had been talking about writing a novel for years, but never made progress. The project felt too big and overwhelming. She did not know where to start, so she never did. When Kathy learned about SMART goals, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, she applied the framework to her dream. Instead of the vague goal, write a novel, she set the goal, write 500 words per day, 5 days per week, for 6 months, resulting in a first draft of at least 50,000 words. The smaller, Daily goal felt manageable. Kathy began writing every morning before work. Some days the words flowed easily, other days they came slowly, but she showed up consistently. After 6 months, she had a complete first draft. It needed editing and revision, but it existed. That was a breakthrough she needed. Carlos, a 33-year-old immigrant from Colombia, set a goal to buy his first home within 3 years. He did not earn a high salary, and homeownership seemed like a distant dream. But by setting a specific goal with a timeline, Carlos created a roadmap. He calculated how much he needed for a down payment, divided that number by 36 months, and began saving that amount each month. He also took on freelance work during weekends and sold items he no longer needed. He tracked his progress on a spreadsheet, watching his savings grow month by month. 3 years and 2 months later, Carlos closed on his first home. He said, "The goal made it real. Without it, I would have just hoped and wished." The goal turned hope into a plan. How to set effective goals here is a framework for setting goals that actually work. To be specific, vague goals produce vague results. Instead of get healthier, say lose 15 pounds in 3 months by exercising 4 times a week and tracking my food intake. Make it measurable. You need a way to track progress and know when you have achieved your goal. Numbers, deadlines, and milestones provide this measurement. Ensure it is achievable. Goals should stretch you but not break you. Setting a goal to earn $1 million in a month when you currently earn $40,000 per year is not motivating, it is demoralizing. Choose goals that are ambitious but realistic. Connect it to your values. Goals that align with your core values are more meaningful and motivating. Ask yourself why this goal matters to you and how achieving it will improve your life. Set a deadline. The goal without a deadline is just a wish. Give yourself a specific date by which you will achieve your goal. This creates urgency and prevents procrastination. Breaking goals into daily actions. The most effective way to achieve a big goal is to break it into small, daily actions. If your goal is to run a marathon, your daily action might be running 3 miles. If your goal is to write a book, your daily action might be writing 500 words. If your goal is to save $10,000, your daily action might be saving $28. These daily actions are what actually move you toward your goal. The big goal provides direction. The daily actions provide momentum. Focus on the daily actions, and the big goal will take care of itself. Reviewing and adjusting goals. Set goals are not static. Life changes, circumstances shift, and what seemed important 6 months ago may no longer be relevant. Schedule regular reviews of your goals, perhaps monthly or quarterly. Assess your progress, celebrate wins, and adjust your approach as needed. Don't be afraid to modify goals that no longer serve you. Flexibility is not failure, it is wisdom. The goal is to live intentionally, not to rigidly pursue objectives that have lost their meaning. Chapter 9. Practice deep breathing exercises. The power of your breath. Breathing is the one bodily function that operates both automatically and under conscious control. This dual nature makes it a powerful bridge between the mind and body. When you are stressed, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. When you are calm, it becomes slow and deep. By consciously controlling your breathing, you can influence your stress response, heart rate, blood pressure, and emotional state. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body rest and digest mode. This counteracts the fight or flight response triggered by stress, reducing cortisol levels, lowering heart rate, and promoting relaxation. The effects are immediate, making deep breathing one of the fastest ways to reduce stress and anxiety. Unlike meditation or exercise, deep breathing can be done anywhere, anytime, without any equipment or preparation. It is always available to you, whether you are stuck in traffic, sitting in a meeting, or lying in bed unable to sleep. Real-life applications of deep breathing. Jessica, a 31-year-old teacher, experienced severe anxiety during parent-teacher conferences. Her heart would race, her palms would sweat, and she sometimes struggled to find her words. The anxiety affected her performance and confidence. A therapist taught Jessica the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, and exhale for 8 counts. She practiced this technique daily for 2 weeks, building proficiency. Before her next conference, she sat in her car and completed 5 rounds of the exercise. The results were remarkable. Jessica walked into the conference feeling calmer and more focused. She was able to communicate clearly and handle difficult questions without panicking. She said, "Breathing gave me a tool I can use anytime, anywhere. It is like having a reset button." Alex, A 40-year-old software developer suffered from chronic tension headaches. After ruling out medical causes, his doctor suggested that stress and poor posture were contributing factors. Along with ergonomic changes, Alex started practicing diaphragmatic breathing 3 times a day, 5 minutes each session. Within 3 weeks, Alex noticed a significant reduction in headache frequency and intensity. The breathing exercises also helped him manage the stress that was contributing to his headaches. He said, "I used to reach for painkillers. Now I reach for my breath." Breathing techniques to try today: box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Repeat for 4 to 5 cycles. This technique is used by Navy SEAL to stay calm under pressure. 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. This technique is particularly effective for falling asleep. Diaphragmatic breathing. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Breathe in through your nose so that your belly rises while your chest remains relatively still. Exhale slowly through your mouth. This technique promotes full oxygen exchange and reduces tension. Alternate nostril breathing. Close your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your left. Close your left nostril and exhale through your right. Inhale through your right, close it, and exhale through your left. Repeat for several cycles. This technique is said to balance the nervous system. Physiological side: take 2 quick inhales through the nose, then a long exhale through the mouth. This is the fastest known way to calm the nervous system and can be done in a single breath. Incorporating breathing into daily life. The key to benefiting from breathing exercises is consistency. Set reminders on your phone to practice several times a day. Use breathing exercises as transitions between activities, such as before starting work, after a meeting, or before bed. Practice when you are already calm, not just when you are stressed. This builds the skill so it is available when you need it most. Think of it like practicing a musical instrument. You practice when you are not performing, so you can perform when it matters. Chapter 10. Learn something new today. The growth mindset. Learning is not just for students. It is a lifelong practice that keeps your mind sharp, your perspective fresh, and your skills relevant. In a rapidly changing world, the ability to learn new things is perhaps the most valuable skill you can develop. Psychologist Carol Dweck distinguishes between a fixed mindset, the belief that abilities are innate and unchangeable, and a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through effort and learning. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges, persist through obstacles, and view failure as an opportunity to learn. Adopting a growth mindset transforms how you approach everything. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks because you might fail, you seek them out because they offer opportunities to grow. Instead of feeling threatened by others' success, you feel inspired by it. Real-life learning transformations. Why a 44-year-old accountant felt his skills becoming obsolete as automation and artificial intelligence transformed his industry. Rather than panicking, why enrolled in online courses on data analytics and machine learning. He spent 30 minutes each evening studying, treating it like homework for his career. Within 6 months, why had developed enough proficiency to lead a new data analytics initiative at his firm. His colleagues, who had been complacent, struggled to adapt. Why said, learning felt uncomfortable at first. I was the oldest person in my online class, but the discomfort was temporary, and the skills I gained were permanent. Prior, a 27-year-old graphic designer, wanted to transition into UX design, but felt unqualified. She did not have a degree in the field and could not afford to go back to school full-time. Instead, she took free and low-cost online courses, completed practice projects, and built a portfolio over the course of a year. After 12 months of consistent learning and practice, Priya landed a junior UX designer position at a tech company. The hiring manager told her that her portfolio demonstrated more practical skill than many candidates with formal degrees. How to start learning something new today? Choose something that excites you. Learning should not feel like punishment. Pick a topic or skill that genuinely interests you. Curiosity is the best fuel for learning. Use free resources. The internet offers an extraordinary wealth of free learning resources. Platforms like Coursera, edX, Khan Academy, and YouTube provide courses on virtually every topic. Public libraries offer free access to books, audiobooks, and sometimes even online courses. Set a small daily goal. Commit to learning for just 15 to 30 minutes per day. Consistency matters more than intensity. 15 minutes a day adds up to over 90 hours per year, which is enough to develop meaningful proficiency in almost any skill. Apply what you learn. Knowledge without application is quickly forgotten. Find ways to use what you learn immediately, whether in your work, a personal project, or a conversation with someone else. Teach others. Teaching is one of the most effective ways to learn. When you explain a concept to someone else, you deepen your own understanding and identify gaps in your knowledge. Learning and career growth. Continuous learning is one of the most reliable paths to career advancement. In a survey by the Pew Research Center, 87% of workers said training and new skills development was important for getting ahead at work. Yet only a third of workers took advantage of employer-sponsored training. Taking initiative in your own learning distinguishes you from your peers. It shows employers that you are proactive, adaptable, and invested in your professional growth. These qualities are valued in every industry and every role. Learning also opens doors to entirely new career paths. Many people have successfully transitioned to new fields through self-directed learning, online courses, and deliberate practice. The barriers to learning have never been lower. The only barrier remaining is your willingness to start. Chapter 11. To connect with someone you care about. The human need for connection. Humans are social creatures. Our survival as a species has depended on our ability to form bonds, cooperate, and support one another. Despite this fundamental need, many people today experience profound loneliness and disconnection. The Surgeon General of the United States has declared loneliness a public health epidemic, noting that prolonged isolation carries health risks equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes per day. Loneliness increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, dementia, depression, and premature death. Connection is not just about having people around. It is about having meaningful relationships where you feel known, valued, and supported. Quality matters more than quantity when it comes to social bonds. Real-life impact of connection. Linda, a 56-year-old widow, had become increasingly isolated after her husband passed away. She stopped socializing, withdrew from her book club, and spent most evenings alone watching television. Her health declined, and she felt a persistent sadness she could not shake. Her daughter encouraged her to reconnect with old friends, even though it felt awkward. Linda sent a text message to 3 friends she had not spoken to in months, saying she would love to catch up. 2 responded immediately, and they arranged a dinner. That dinner was a turning point. Linda realized how much she had missed human connection. She rejoined her book club, started volunteering at a local food bank, and made a point of calling a friend every day. Within months, her mood improved, her energy returned, and she felt a sense of belonging she had been missing. Daniel, a 23-year-old recent college graduate, moved to a new city for work. He did not know anyone and spent his evenings alone in his apartment. The loneliness was overwhelming, and he considered moving back home. Instead, Daniel decided to take action. He joined a recreational soccer league, signed up for a cooking class, and started attending a weekly meetup for young professionals. It was uncomfortable putting himself out there, but within a few months, he had developed a circle of friends and a sense of community in his new city. How to strengthen your connections today. Reach out to someone, send a text message, make a phone call, or write an email to someone you have not spoken to recently. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Just reach out. Practice active listening when you are with someone. Give them your full attention. Put away your phone, make eye contact, and listen to understand rather than to respond. People feel valued when they are truly heard. Be vulnerable. True connection requires vulnerability. Share your real thoughts and feelings, not just surface-level updates. This invites others to do the same and deepens the relationship. Schedule regular time with loved ones. Do not leave important relationships to chance. Schedule regular dinners, walks, phone calls, or activities with the people who matter most to you. Join a community. Find a group of people who share your interests, values, or goals. This could be a book club, sports team, religious group, volunteer organization, or professional association. Building new relationships, making new friends as an adult can feel awkward, but it is entirely possible with effort and intention. The key is to put yourself in environments where connection can happen naturally. Share experiences with others. Classes, workshops, group activities, and community events provide natural settings for meeting people. Repeated exposure to the same people builds familiarity and trust, which are the foundations of friendship. Be the one to initiate. Many people want deeper connections, but are afraid to make the first move. Be the one who suggests getting coffee, invite someone to lunch, or organizes a group outing. Your initiative will be appreciated. Chapter 12, Limit Screen Time and Social Media. The hidden cost of screens. Screens have become central to modern life. We use them for work, communication, entertainment, and information. While technology offers many benefits, excessive screen time carries significant costs that are easy to overlook. Studies linked excessive screen time to increased rates of anxiety, depression, poor sleep, reduced attention span, and social isolation. The average American spends over 7 hours per day looking at screens. That is nearly half of their waking hours spent behind a device. Social media platforms are particularly concerning. They are designed to be addictive, using algorithms that exploit your brain reward systems. They create comparison traps, where you measure your life against carefully curated highlights of others. They fragment your attention and make sustained focus difficult. Real-life screen time reduction. Nicole, a 29-year-old social media manager, spent over 8 hours a day on screens for work, plus an additional 3 to 4 hours for personal use. She noticed she could not concentrate for more than a few minutes. Her sleep was poor, and she felt anxious when she was away from her phone. Nicole decided to implement screen boundaries. She deleted social media apps from her phone, keeping them only on her laptop. She set her phone to grayscale mode, which made it less visually appealing. She established phone-free zones in her home, including the bedroom and the dinner table. The first week was difficult. Nicole experienced phantom vibrations and felt a compulsive urge to check her phone. But by the second week, she noticed improvements. She was sleeping better, reading more, and having more meaningful conversations with her partner. She said, "I did not realize how much my phone was controlling my life until I took back control." Tom, a 38-year-old father, noticed that his children spent most of their free time on devices. They rarely played outside, had trouble entertaining themselves, and became irritable when screen time was limited. Tom realized that the family screen habits needed to change. Tom established family screen rules: no devices during meals, screens off 1 hour before bed, and a 2-hour daily limit on recreational screen time for the kids. He replaced screen time with alternative activities like board games, outdoor play, and family walks. The transition was bumpy at first, but the family ultimately became closer and more engaged with each other. Practical ways to reduce screen time today. Set screen time limits. Most smartphones have built-in screen time tracking and limit features. Use them to set daily limits for specific apps and categories. Create phone-free zones. Designate areas in your home where phones are not allowed, such as the bedroom, dining room, or bathroom. This creates natural breaks from screen use. Establish screen-free times. Set specific times of day when screens are off, such as the first hour after waking, during meals, and the last hour before bed. Replace screen time with analog activities. Identify activities you enjoy that do not involve screens. Reading, cooking, exercising, gardening, playing music, and spending time outdoors are all excellent alternatives. Practice the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. This reduces eye strain and provides brief mental breaks from screen focus. Digital detox strategies. A digital detox involves temporarily or permanently reducing your screen use. It can be as simple as one screen-free day per week or as ambitious as a week-long complete detox. During a digital detox, you may experience boredom, restlessness, or anxiety. These feelings are normal and reveal how dependent you have become on screens for stimulation. Lean into the discomfort. Boredom is often the precursor to creativity. After your detox, reassess your screen habits with fresh eyes. You will likely find that many of your screen habits are not adding value to your life. Be intentional about which ones you reintroduce. Chapter 13. Practice financial awareness. The relationship between money and well-being. Money is a sensitive topic for many people, but ignoring it does not make financial problems go away. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety, relationship conflict, and reduced quality of life. Conversely, financial awareness and control contribute significantly to peace of mind and life satisfaction. Financial awareness does not mean obsessing over every penny or denying yourself all pleasures. It means knowing where your money goes, living within your means, and making intentional choices about your spending and saving. It means having a plan rather than letting money happen to you. Real-life financial transformations. Angela and Kevin, both 35, earned a combined income of $1,200 per year. Despite this comfortable salary, they lived paycheck to paycheck. They had no savings, carried credit card debt, and thought about money regularly. They felt stuck and hopeless about their financial situation. They decided to track every dollar they spent for 1 month. The exercise was eye-opening. They discovered they were spending over $600 per month on dining out, $200 on subscription services they did not use, and $150 on impulse purchases. They had never added up these costs before because the spending was spread across many small transactions. Armed with this awareness, Angela and Kevin made targeted changes. They reduced dining out to twice a month, canceled unused subscriptions, and implemented a 24-hour rule for non-essential purchases. They redirected the savings toward paying off their credit card debt and building an emergency fund. Within a year, they had eliminated their credit card debt and saved $5,000 in an emergency fund. The financial breathing room transformed their relationship and their quality of life. Angela said, "We are not earning any more money. We are just being intentional about where it goes." Chris, a 25-year-old recent graduate, was overwhelmed by student loan debt. The total amount felt paralyzing, so he avoided thinking about it entirely. He made minimum payments while spending freely on entertainment and dining out, telling himself he deserved it because he worked hard. When Chris sat down and calculated how long it would take to pay off his loans at the minimum payment rate, the answer was 22 years. The number shocked him into action. He created a budget, cut unnecessary expenses, and began making extra payments toward his loans. By paying an additional $200 per month, he reduced his payoff timeline from 22 years to 8 years. Steps to improve your financial awareness. Today, track your spending for the next 30 days. Record every dollar you spend. Use a notebook, spreadsheet, or budgeting app. The act of tracking reveals spending patterns you were unaware of. Create a simple budget to list your income and expenses. Allocate money to necessities, savings, and discretionary spending. A popular framework is a 50/30/20 rule: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. Set up automatic savings. Arrange for a portion of your paycheck to be automatically transferred to a savings account each month. Saving becomes effortless when it is automatic. Reduce one expense. Identify one area where you consistently overspend and make a specific reduction. Even small reductions add up significantly over time. Build an emergency fund and aim to save 3 to 6 months of living expenses in an accessible account. An emergency fund provides a financial cushion that reduces stress and prevents debt accumulation. Changing your relationship with money. Financial health is not just about numbers. It is about your relationship with money. Many people have emotional associations with money that drive unhealthy behaviors. Some spend to cope with stress. Others hoard money out of fear. Some avoid looking at their finances entirely. Taking control of your finances requires confronting these emotional patterns honestly. Consider your earliest money memories. How did your parents handle money? What messages did you receive about wealth and poverty? Understanding your money story helps you write a better one. Chapter 14. Get outside and spend time in nature. The healing power of nature. Humans evolved in nature, spending hundreds of thousands of years in forests, savannas, and along coastlines. Our brains and bodies are adapted to natural environments. Modern life, with its concrete, fluorescent lights and constant stimulation, is radically different from the environment our species is designed for. This disconnect from nature contributes to stress, anxiety, and a range of health problems. Research consistently shows that spending time in nature provides profound health benefits. It reduces cortisol levels, lowers blood pressure, improves immune function, reduces inflammation, and enhances mood. Even short exposure to nature, as little as 20 minutes, produces measurable physiological benefits. The Japanese practice of shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, involves slowly walking through a forest while engaging all 5 senses. Studies show that forest bathing reduces stress hormones, boosts immune function, and improves mood and creativity. Real-life benefits of spending time in nature. Patricia, a 47-year-old lawyer, worked long hours in a high-stress environment. She spent most of her day in a windowless office and her evenings in a high-rise apartment. She suffered from chronic headaches, insomnia, and irritability. Her doctor suggested she spend more time outdoors as a complement to other treatments. Patricia started taking a 30-minute walk in a nearby park during her lunch break. She left her phone in her desk and focused on noticing the trees, the sky, the sounds of birds. Within 2 weeks, her headaches decreased in frequency and severity. Her sleep improved. She felt calmer and more focused in the afternoons. Over the following months, Patricia expanded her outdoor time. She started hiking on weekends, joined a community garden, and began having breakfast on her balcony. She said, "Nature did not solve my problems, but it gave me the clarity and energy to solve them myself." Kevin, a 19-year-old college student, was struggling with anxiety and depression. His therapist recommended spending time in nature alongside therapy and, when appropriate, medication. Kevin began walking to class through the campus arboretum instead of taking the shortcut through the parking lot. He studied in the campus garden instead of the library. Over the semester, Kevin noticed a gradual improvement in his mood and anxiety levels. The time in nature became a sanctuary, a place where he could decompress and reconnect with himself. He said, "There's something about being around trees and plants that reminds me that life goes on, that things grow and change, and that I will too." How to spend more time in nature today? You do not need to live near a national park or wilderness area to benefit from nature. Here are accessible ways to connect with the natural world. Take a walk outside, even a walk around your neighborhood counts. Notice the trees, the sky, the weather. Walk without headphones and listen to the sounds around you. Sit outside. Spend 15 to 20 minutes sitting outside, whether in your backyard, on a park bench, or on your front porch. Bring a book or simply sit and observe. Open your windows if you cannot get outside. Open your windows to let in fresh air and natural light. Even visual access to nature, such as a view of trees or sky, provides benefits. Bring nature indoors. Add plants to your home or office. Studies show that indoor plants reduce stress, improve air quality, and enhance mood. Gardening connects you with the earth in a hands-on way. It provides physical activity, sensory engagement, and the satisfaction of nurturing living things. Nature and mental health. The mental health benefits of nature are well documented. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that people who walked in nature for 90 minutes showed reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, the brain region associated with rumination, compared to those who walked in urban environments. Rumination, the repetitive cycle of negative thoughts, is a key driver of depression. Nature appears to interrupt this cycle, providing the brain with a different kind of stimulation that allows the rumination center to rest. Chapter 15. Prioritize sleep and rest. Why sleep matters more than you think. Sleep is the foundation upon which all other health habits rest. When you sleep poorly, everything else suffers: your mood, your energy, your focus, your relationships, your health, and your performance. Yet sleep is often the first thing people sacrifice when life gets busy. The CDC estimates that 1 in 3 American adults does not get enough sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation is linked to obesity, heart disease, diabetes, depression, weakened immune function, and even premature death. The consequences of the inadequate sleep are severe and cumulative. Sleep is not a luxury or a sign of laziness. It is a biological necessity. During sleep, your body repairs tissues, consolidates memories, processes emotions, and clears toxins from the brain. Skipping sleep deprives your body of these essential processes. Real-life sleep transformations. Steve, a 39-year-old entrepreneur, wore his sleep deprivation like a badge of honor. He regularly slept 4 to 5 hours per night, believing that sleep was wasted time that could be better spent working. His productivity, creativity, and health were all declining, but he attributed it to the demands of running a business. When Steve learned that sleep deprivation impairs cognitive function as much as being drunk, he was motivated to make a change. He established a strict bedtime of 10:30 p.m., created a wind-down routine that included reading and light stretching, and removed screens from his bedroom. The transformation was dramatic. Within 2 weeks, Steve reported feeling more creative, making better decisions, and having more energy throughout the day. Ironically, he became more productive by sleeping more because the quality of his waking hours improved so significantly. Nina, a 33-year-old mother of a toddler, struggled with sleep because her child woke frequently during the night. She averaged about 5 hours of fragmented sleep per night and was exhausted, irritable, and struggling to cope with daily demands. Nina worked with her partner to create a plan for improving her sleep quality within the constraints of her situation. She went to bed earlier to maximize her sleep before her child first waking. She used blackout curtains and a white noise machine. She stopped drinking caffeine after noon and developed a quick relaxation routine for the middle of the night wakings. Within a month, Nina was averaging 6.5 hours of sleep, which, while still not ideal, was significantly better than before. Her mood improved, her patience returned, and she felt more capable of handling the challenges of motherhood. How to improve your sleep tonight? Here are evidence-based strategies for improving your sleep quality. Stick to a schedule of go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This regulates your circadian rhythm and makes falling asleep easier. Create a sleep sanctuary. Your bedroom should be cool, dark, and quiet. Use blackout curtains, a white noise machine, or earplugs if necessary. Reserve your bed for sleep and intimacy only. Limit caffeine. Afternoon caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours, meaning half the caffeine from your afternoon coffee is still in your system at bedtime. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. for optimal sleep. Avoid alcohol before bed. While alcohol may help you fall asleep initially, it disrupts sleep quality, particularly REM sleep. Limit alcohol consumption, especially in the evening. Establish a wind-down routine. Spend 30 to 60 minutes before bed engaging in calming activities. Dim the lights. Avoid screens. Read, take a warm bath, or practice relaxation exercises. Limit naps if you must nap. Keep it to 20 to 30 minutes and avoid napping after 3 p.m. Long or late naps can interfere with nighttime sleep. The importance of rest beyond sleep. Rest is broader than sleep. Your body and mind need regular periods of rest throughout the day. This includes breaks during work, moments of quiet reflection, and activities that replenish your energy. The concept of rest includes physical rest, mental rest, emotional rest, sensory rest, creative rest, social rest, and spiritual rest. Each type addresses a different aspect of your well-being, and neglecting any one of them can lead to burnout. Physical rest includes both sleep and passive rest, like lying on the couch. Mental rest involves taking breaks from intense cognitive work. Emotional rest means having space to express your feelings honestly. Sensory rest means reducing exposure to screens, noise, and other stimuli. Creative rest involves experiencing beauty and wonder. Social rest means spending time with people who recharge you rather than drain you. Spiritual rest involves connecting with something larger than yourself. Building a restful life. The goal is not just to sleep better, but to build a life that includes regular, intentional rest. This means scheduling downtime just as you schedule work and obligations. It means saying no to commitments that leave you depleted. It means recognizing that rest is productive because it enables everything else you do. When you prioritize rest, you show up more fully in every area of your life. You're a better partner, parent, friend, and employee when you're rested. You make better decisions, react more thoughtfully, and enjoy your experiences more deeply. Conclusion: your life transforms one day at a time. Bringing it all together, the 15 practices outlined in this guide are not revolutionary. They are simple, timeless principles that have been known for centuries. What makes them powerful is not their novelty, but their application. Knowledge without action is useless. The difference between people who transform their lives and those who do not is not talent, luck, or circumstances. It is the willingness to start and the discipline to continue. You do not need to implement all 15 practices at once. In fact, trying to change everything simultaneously is a recipe for overwhelm and failure. Instead, choose 2 or 3 practices that resonate with you most strongly and commit to them for 30 days. Once they become habits, add more. The compound effect of small changes. Each practice in this guide is valuable on its own, but when combined, their effects multiply. Waking up early gives you time for exercise and reading. Exercise improves your sleep quality. Better sleep enhances your mood and focus. Improved focus makes you more productive at work. Reduced screen time gives you more time for connection. Connection reduces loneliness and stress. Less stress leads to better decision-making, including financial decisions. The benefits cascade and reinforce each other. This is the compound effect of small changes. Like compound interest, small improvements accumulate over time into extraordinary results. A 1% improvement each day leads to a 37-fold improvement over the course of a year. The math is simple, The results are profound. Your next step, the most important step, is the next one. Do not wait until Monday, next month, or next year. Start today. Choose one practice from this guide and implement it right now. Set your alarm for tomorrow morning. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. Take a 20-minute walk. Drink a glass of water. Open a book. The life you want is built one small action at a time. You have everything you need to begin. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. The rest will follow. Summary points 1. Wake up early and create a morning routine. 2. Practice gratitude daily. 3. Move your body and exercise. 4. Drink more water and eat healthier. 5. Declutter your physical space. 6. Practice mindfulness and meditation. 7. Read for at least 30 minutes. 8. Set clear goals and write them down. 9. Practice deep breathing exercises. 10. Learn something new today. 11. Connect with someone you care about. 12. Limit screen time and social media. 13. Practice financial awareness. 14. Get outside and spend time in nature. 15. Prioritize sleep and rest.